Hey, it's Kathleen. So, as I was saying yesterday with regards to Adrian Hurston, Barbara Young, um, I'm forced in this situation where I have to just tell all. It's not um, because that I'm a gossiper. My mom rented the place, a nice place in Summerlin, Las Vegas, and I don't live in Vegas. I never want to. Um, not I have anything against it. It's a desert. I'm not into the desert anyway. So Summerlin is a good community, but before I never met these people, Adrian Hurston. I'm nothing against anyone, Barbara Young or whatever, but I know for a fact that the sales agent who sold my mom the place, maybe he has a different agenda. He tried to get, he doesn't screen anybody. I don't even think that he has the credential probably to manage. So, or I would just speculate that perhaps they feel if you're not making money or, because they tried to lure my mom, my mother, my poor mother, to get all her savings for a down payment to buy a place in Vegas. They say, we're going to guarantee you income. And when I try to persuade her, don't do it, she's like giving me the middle finger. So with that said, those Victor Pie and Pansy Pie supposedly managed it, and I just want hands off. I want to have nothing to do with it until things went really bad. Meaning like they were doing like eviction notices already. This is back in 2016, 17, whatever. I overheard it, from mom talking with Pansy and everything. I was like, please don't get me involved. And, for sure they had problems. But however, I figured they can resolve it. But no. Anyway, so of course, if mom sell the place, the guy is gonna stand to make another 3%. I mean, that's like I said, it was a racket. And now, fast forward to the what do you call the past, so-called the pandemic and moratorium. There was a lot of money lost. Like 7, 8 months of rent that she never gotten. So she got fed up. My mom got fed up and she finally threw it onto my lap. I can't say no. This is what's happening. So I have to deal with these folks, which I have no prejudice against anybody, but I know this Adrian Hurston was working in Caesar's Palace security, according to their application or whatever. It was a long time ago. So maybe that's why this Pansy Pie and Victor Pie thought, well, if they're working security, they're probably good people, they're going to pay, and well, obviously not. But I figured there was a racket because I see that how they had set up, right? Meaning between the Pie and this Barbara Young, Adrian Hurston, is to have them, the tenants, direct deposit into mother's account supposedly every month, but which was never done. Direct deposit. I go, what kind of system is that? Anyways, maybe they didn't have the license to actually manage. I'm just speculating. And so the money was never in there, or the check was constantly bouncing. But I did notice the trend that there's always just a single name on the deposit check, as you can view it. And it's Barbara Young. That's her name, and with the address in Henderson on the check. I understand you can use old checks, but now I see why, because they do intend, maybe they've done it before, I'm not sure, to keep Adrian Hurston's name out, even though I think that she did mention at one time that she has to get Adrian Hurston to pay her $800 or whatever, say if no, the rent is $1,600. Which, by the way, for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom in Summerlin, that is incredible. You cannot possibly. I mean, this is after years and years. Mom wasn't even getting $1,200. And now, it's like I said, fast forward to 2020, they didn't pay at all. So, then the kicker was this Adrian Hurston applied for the of the MPD. I guess that's the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police. And then they want to check on the credit. Of course, they say, well, who's the landlord? So I get an email, blah, blah, blah. Click on this link and whether the tenant has been delinquent, how long, etc., etc. So at that time, this woman, Barbara Young, I guess that's his mother, whatever they say. Again, I don't know these people. Please don't say anything. So they will make good for the past 9 months rent, but it will be repaid every month a little bit at a time, like a couple $100 or something. And I figure, I believe in redemption. Well, yeah, okay. So maybe they will change their behavior if this Vegas PD is probably going to pay more. Of course, I would think that way, right? So with that redemption, I just kept my mouth shut. Anyways, the long story longer, that I always say long story short, but longer. Adrian Hurston got the job as a part of the police officer, now in the police force, I guess. But then the bad behavior continues, and it's always like I'm begging, pleading by texting everybody, say, and I always say that, hey, just a quick reminder, it's already the 14th. I know when my mom, like she was twirling her thumb, I was like, let's avoid the conflict. I said, please, of course, the rent is due on the 1st, as you know. Nobody gives 15 days grace period. But please, you're going to make that deposit, do it, because that was the system. Like, supposedly, you just go to a branch and make a deposit into this Wells Fargo's or whatever. But a lot of times the check will bounce, and then it would be like 25th, 26th, 27th, sometimes to the next month. So nobody can deal with that because, I kept saying that my mortgage company, please, understand, we're not, again, we're not a big company, giant company. And I think this is why they target folks like poor Grace. I have no idea, no clue, right, of how to run apartment or any kind of complex. So with that said, I spend a lot of money on this so-called eviction process, and that's another bitter grind because I thought in the old days you just go, hey, you're not paying, you got to get out, or write a note, put it on their door, or by certified mail, because I don't live in Vegas. Certified mail and say you got to get out in 30 days or whatever, or you're not paying. But no, you have to now in Vegas. You have to hire a server, a process server each time. So each time it'll cost you so-called legal fees. Anyway, so that's disputable. And he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to pay. We don't want to pay for legal fees or whatever." But it's just irresponsible to the max because whatever they can get away with, they just ghosted me, everybody else. They did that to the Victor Pye as well. Victor Pye even said that. He said, well, we really tried. We went knock on the door. And then this guy came out with a gun. I guess he can have a license because he was a security. So to me, that was like, that's freaky. And just ghosting, just ignore it. So if you ignore the bills, they'll go away. That's how they were thinking. And I also believe that they're resentful, because they figure if my mom can put up the mortgage and own a house, for sure, she's rich. She's not fucking rich. I kept saying she's a poor widow. Anyways, so ghosting. And I tried to get the eviction going. That's another story. It's like, it's impossible. So Vegas is rigged against folks that if you want to like have a second home or whatever, rent it out. No, it's rigged. I know I'm going to hurt my chances selling it. But if you want to be the owner, because a lot of people want to move there, they think it's cheaper than California, so they flee to Vegas. Well, that's great, because we have the, over there, so great, the golf course and everything. No, seriously. Really the world Reno, I would say the baseball park. I've seen pictures of their gym, their water world is unbelievable. Supposedly like the pool and their gym is unbelievable. Okay, that's included in the HOA. Anyways, and nobody would be really foolish enough to try to renew that lease, but obviously they hold a grudge. So this text finally came through. Well, meaning I was so upset on Thanksgiving. I said, thank you guys. You guys ruined our Thanksgiving and everything. I'm miserable. I'm miserable. I didn't have a turkey or anything. And now suddenly I got a text back from Adrian Hurston, who never texted me. Maybe except for like a while ago, like, oh, I'm, like it's always very evasive. Like, oh, talk to my mom. I'm never there. That once or twice about trying to show the place to buyers. So now Adrian Hurston texted me. He said, well, I'll read it to you. I mean, I can publish it or whatever and post it on X. Will you please stop with all this nonsense? When you told my mom you wasn't, excuse me, he said you wasn't going to extend the 30-day notice and assured her by filing a 7-day eviction. Wow, that's mean, huh? On the 4th of November, so like he knows what he's talking about, is when I prepare the movers to move everything out of the house on November the 7th. The house has been empty since then. Well, I didn't know. I was not informed. The owner was not informed, okay? So that's that. You think that you're being methodical? No, you're not. You're not being methodical and you're not being reasonable. He said the house has been empty. And mom refused to have words with you because you were so RUID, rude. When was I ever freaking rude? And when was I ever freaking rude? When was I ever rude? You bounced out checks. When was I ever rude? I always say, please, remember that we're trying to give you extension until such and such day. Please, just go make that deposit. That's not rude. I never seen that someone have to pry a turkey like in a store out of somebody's hand because they refuse to pay. Just walk away. But now maybe the BLM, they do that. They walk away with the turkey. So I've seen that happen in stores. So then he goes on. I have no idea what he's talking about. The movers patch all the hanging holes and send a video after they was finished. I thought my English was like kind of weird. It's not like you doesn't know nothing is in the house because my neighbor already told me about someone was at the house. So can you please stop with the foolishness and threats? Oh my God. That's from Adrian Hurston, the recruit in Las Vegas. I mean, I've never talked to the guy. Okay? I have no prejudice whatsoever. But imagine that person on your police force. It is frightening to me. I don't know what the video that he's talking about. So I actually politely, I say, Adrian, this is the very first time I got a response after, right there, weeks and weeks of being ignored by you all. So thank you for finally a response. In the correction, I did grant the request of Barbara Young to extend that 30-day into a 40-day, meaning, I have to sell the house, and a 30-day notice is like just friendly, no cost. They call it friendly, and I have to pay for that. So eviction notice is a different notice. You have to pay for that. It's $100 or something. Anyways, so every notice costs you money. You can't just send them certified mails by saying, hey, we're going to sell the house, or you're not paying, please leave, etc. So then I did extend it. But she had the day wrong. Barbara wanted the 30 days, the extension to 60 days to a wrong day. So I just corrected her. I said, you can look up the email, which I CC'd you. I CC'd both of them because they're, supposedly the grown adults, right? Original move out day, this is what I remember, and you can look it up, was October 23rd. I extended to November the 22nd because she thought 23rd is to the 24th. I corrected her in the email, which is the 22nd. That's 30-day extra because it's a longer month, you see, on October. When you ask for 30 days, you add the 60 days onto whatever they're asking, right? I mean, she's asking me 30-day extra. So I was not rude at all. And asking you to perform the obligations you have incurred substantial bills while living at our property. Ignoring to pay us back what you owe is wrong. And that's rude. So I don't think they understand. I just have to clarify one thing. When this Adrian guy, then later on, this is a long text, and probably I'm not going to go into all of it. He's insisting on, whatever we owe, we'll take care of. He's insisting that the utilities are included. The water, sewage, and trash are included. Are you kidding? So you want me to pay for your fucking groceries? Excuse me. I'm totally upset. They're not included, okay? Maybe there was a clause by saying you got to pay a little extra because of sewer. There's a sewer, there's a trash. Now I understand there's a water. But for sure, I know the water company sent me the letter, I think it was back in June or May. Yeah, no, it was actually earlier, sooner than that. And they said, because the tenants were not paying, so now, according to their policy, Las Vegas water company, that the water bill defaults to the owner on record. So I called them, and I was very upset. I said I want to talk to the supervisor. I said, why am I responsible for somebody else's water bill or negligence? Can I go to a restaurant, order a big meal, and make a total stranger pay? No, they will kick me out. I said, how is this reasonable? And if they don't pay, the policy should be we are going to send you a letter and say, you don't pay the partial payment, make payments. We're going to turn off your water, power, electricity, whatever, in 30 days. So no, we can't do that. So this is freaking gone wrong. Las Vegas has gone socialist. And now they're putting the lien on my house, our home, for some damn water bill that they incurred. So now Adrian Hurston didn't understand. I just want you to understand something. He kept saying we're gonna make arrangement for these utilities to pay whatever we owed. After he told me the utilities included. So get it straight. Show me where is it included. Show me on the piece of paper. Show me. I cannot stop this anger. And also, if you're making arrangements, let's just say with one of the company, water or whatever, the other utility, you make your back payments, that's when you're still owing them in your name, but not when they transfer it and I was paying it for the past 6 months or a year. You understand that? So it's under the owner's name that we're paying for it. We're owing. It has nothing to do with what you owe them before that. What you owe them before that is what they should have cut you off, but instead they transfer that debt to us or transfer the thereafter the occurring bill because you're still using all the stuff while you were there. Weren't you flushing the toilet? I'm just saying it's a desert. Water's expensive, okay? So you don't get it. He kept saying that we're not owing anything. We make arrangements with the utility companies. And then he contradicted himself by saying the utilities are included. And $1,600 for a 3-bedroom? Are you crazy? Just show it to me. So I'm just losing it. And now I have to control my cool. I just go, you know what? That squabbling aside. Just tell us, how can we get the keys back? He wouldn't tell us how to get the keys back. He's saying somebody was there. I go, who? So there's something not right. I'm just saying you can't really have a discussion. I'd be afraid. If I get pulled over, I would be very polite. Say, officer, yeah, what is it? I mean, I'm not going to run away. But, just imagine. I'm saying in the police term because Las Vegas PD hired this guy. I would be afraid. No, I'm serious because he's not making any sense. Just also to use an analogy, if you pull somebody over, they just ignore you. Then what? You're gonna get more mad, right? You're gonna chase after them, and then you say, well, something is wrong. Why are you evading the police, because when cops try to pull you over, you always just go, okay, let's just go to the side, park the car, roll down the window, right? Show your hands is always visible. I mean, that's a very scary situation to think that this person on the other side wearing the uniform is not all there. He's gonna ask you for the driver's license or whatever, but I'm just saying this logic that involved with what this person was saying, it's dumbfounding to me. What he's saying is, who are the neighbors? He said, well, my mom was not there. I don't know. I don't know. I can't get a freaking peep out of you people for months and months. So ridiculous. So I texted, I said, let's put my agent on the text. I said it nicely. Could you please let Ronnie know when he can obtain the keys? I mean, everybody knows, even if I check into the hotel, I want to make sure they don't charge me for an extra day, so I turn in the keys, I'm out. Okay, so I said that it's $60 a day prorate. I'm trying to, do this for your advantage. It's better. I'm trying to encourage him to just give us the keys. He wouldn't. He started to give me this whole runaround about. Then he wouldn't answer back. This Adrian Hurston, this is ridiculous. He gave me the runaround about, the mover. I don't know who the mover is. The mover, I said, the mover has a name, has a phone number. The mover's got the keys. And he said the mover, called the number and couldn't get through or whatever. And now he's busy doing something else, moving somebody to Arizona. And then he's saying on the text, it doesn't make sense. So he's saying the mover is busy, so the mover has to put the keys and give somebody to the office. I said, that don't make sense. I said, look, just get hold of my realtor, my agent. That's what the agent is for, right? They represent you. They're agents. So he has the authority to obtain the keys. And ghosting after that. It's totally snooting and then also gaslighting. They just tried to gaslight me. That's what I have to say. That's what I have to say, that I think that, when I'm just saying, everybody, really, we should all have introspection, right? But I don't know the people. I don't believe I've done any wrong. I'm just saying, for normal people who rent houses, this is why, you're not born yesterday. We were not born yesterday. I just know that no matter what, I try to set aside, I have to put one paycheck, set it aside, and make sure that it's there on the first. And sometimes I go to the managers when, it's an apartment, I turn in the envelope on the third or whatever. But that was it. So if they don't have the discipline to do that, and now not only they have defaulted on all their utility bills, and then it's inconsistent by saying that it was included, supposedly included, and it's not. Also, they didn't even give us an idea how to get our keys back. I just don't know what kind of lawlessness is going on in Las Vegas. And I do see the posting on Las Vegas Metropolitan Police, like, oh yeah, we just busted a whole, a ring of some kind of hoodlums or whatever. But internally, this is frightening to me anyways. So I kind of, this twofold. I kind of want folks to think twice when they try to invest in Vegas. It's fine if you think it's cheaper to live there, but if you want to invest in there, think twice. I mean, who are you going to use to manage your property, and make sure you have enough to fall back on, so that you're not just going to strangle yourself for people become squatters. Okay, that's that.